reasoned conversation with them. A reasoned conversation with them. And you spoke to them and gave them some evidence. In other words, you gave them some intellectual permission why they should listen to the gospel that you're going to present to them. You gave them some intellectual foundation, some bit of evidence. Believe me, some people are brought to Christ this way. I'm not saying everyone. Ultimately, everyone comes to Christ by means of the gospel. No one comes to Christ without the gospel. No one. And so apologetics does not save anyone, but it can be the means of getting you a hearing many times. It can be the way of making that connection. But we'll get to that in just a bit, about the relationship between apologetics and evangelism, if there is even a relationship, but we'll get to that. But interestingly, all three of the main lines of argument advanced by the apologists of the 2nd century find precedence in the New Testament book of Acts, making Luke, or perhaps Paul, whose words he recorded, the first recorded Christian apologist. And renowned biblical scholar F.F. Bruce wrote, of three main types of Christian apologetic in the 2nd century, Luke provides 1st century prototypes. Apologetic in relation to pagan religion, that is, Christianity is true, paganism is false. Apologetic in relation to Judaism, that is, Christianity represents the fulfillment of true Judaism. Apologetic in relation to the political authorities. Christianity is innocent of any offense against Roman law. So these areas of Christian apologetics, whether it be in relation to the pagan mystery religions of the 1st century, whether it be in relation to Judaism, whether it be in relation to the Roman authorities, Christianity offered through its apologists apologetic arguments, reasoned defenses for its own existence in its own culture and in its own time. So then apologetics originated in the New Testament, developing further in the 2nd century in response to challenges encountered as it crossed cultural boundaries into the Greco-Roman world, starting out, of course, in that Judaistic world, then leaching out into the Greco-Roman world, and throughout this, mainly through the missionary journeys of Paul. And throughout the history of Christianity, apologetics has continued to adapt to new cultural challenges. You might consider, for a short overview of the history of Christian apologetics, including profiles of the leading figures in the developing of modern apologetics, brief history of apologetics by Ken Boa and Robert Bauman. You check that out perhaps in the library. So let's stop there. We want to pick up next a bit with the purpose of apologetics.